Already delayed a couple of times by the pandemic, this follow-up to 2017's whodunit Murder on the Orient Express will again star the outrageously mustached Kenneth Branagh as everybody's favorite persnickety Belgian detective, Hercule Poirot. I liked Orient Express just fine, but have significantly higher hopes for this outing thanks to its exotic Egyptian setting and the fact that its Agatha Christie source material was already made into a first-rate murder mystery in 1978 with Peter Ustinov sleuthing beneath the stash. Can we all agree that Ben Affleck wasn't the right guy to play the Caped Crusader? Sure, no one is going to match Christian Bale's intensity in the Christopher Nolan trilogy, but I suspect that the latest man to don the cowl, Robert Pattinson, will at least one-up Affleck in terms of method. Why madness? Directed by Matt Reeves, Cloverfield and two of the better Planet of the Apes flicks, this looks to be a darker-than-dark DC outing abetted by that always welcome loose screw Paul Dano as the Riddler. I was sold on indie auteur Robert Eggers after his creepy 2015 Pilgrim horror debut, The Witch. And 2019's The Lighthouse made good on his promise as a singularly offbeat storyteller. With The Northman, the director sets a revenge tale in 10th century Iceland, starring Alexander Skarsgård as a Viking prince. Nice casting, that. Will there be better movies in 2022? Perhaps. But this should be the best-looking movie of the spring. Welcome to the latest entry in the Nicolas Cage renaissance. And this time, everybody's favorite Looney Tune goes meta, playing a stylized version of himself in a funhouse mirror comedy about Nick Cage becoming a CIA informant to take down one of his fans. This feels like the closest thing 2022 has up its sleeve in the vein of being John Malkovich. Anytime Jordan Peele steps behind the camera is an event in my book. And while his last film, Us, didn't quite measure up to Get Out, then again, what could have? Something tells me this will be one of the summer's best antidotes to tentpole mania. Very little is known about Nope, but this much we do know, it's a horror flick and Get Out's Daniel Kaluuya stars alongside Steven Yeun and Keke Palmer. That's more than enough for me. Brad Pitt shifts into action star mode in what sounds like a giddy, action-packed cross between John Wick and Snowpiercer. Yes, please. An adaptation of Kotaro Isaka's satirical novel from last year, Pitt plays an assassin on a speeding train with 4 other contract killers, all after the same target. And only one will make it to the end credits alive. I think we can all guess who's left standing, but the journey should be a hell of a lot more kick-ass than the destination on this one. Olivia Wilde proved that she was a natural behind the camera with 2019's Booksmart. And now, as her sophomore assignment, she's helming this provocative thriller about a 50s married couple, Florence Pugh and Harry Styles. Yes, that Harry Styles, who join a commune in the middle of the California desert. This feels like a sleeper definitely worth keeping an eye on. If you're looking to fill out your Oscar ballot way too early, this feels like a good bet. Take 1 teaspoon of Spotlight and add a dash of All the President's Men and you might get something like She Said, an investigative procedural centering on the 2 New York Times reporters, Megan Twohey and Jodi Kantor, whose reporting brought down Harvey Weinstein. Carey Mulligan and Zoe Kazan star. We'll all have bittersweet feelings going into this one due to the still fresh tragic death of Chadwick Boseman. Directed by Ryan Coogler and said to honor the late star, Wakanda Forever has a lot to live up to. But something tells us, Marvel is going to do everything it can to knock this one out of the park. Wow, that was fast. Just kidding. James Cameron has been talking about, tinkering with, and teasing us with the release of this big-budget follow-up to his year 2009 sci-fi spectacle since, well, 2009. Cameron is one of cinema's undeniable masters. But you can't help but wonder if Avatar's target audience has moved on in the past 13 years. I think this can go only one of 2 ways. It makes $1 billion or it's the biggest bomb of 2022.